indigenous cultures, ancient cultures, saw themselves as part of nature, not separate from nature. What wisdom have we lost in modern times through development and technology?
Well, we have lost that connection with the natural world, which is so very important. And if you don't have a connection with something, you can't love it, care for it, understand it. And if we continue destroying nature the way we are now, all over the world, then for our great-grandchildren, I don't know what will be left.
You often speak about not just conserving nature and the planet and all its natural resources, but about empathy and hope and compassion. How important are those qualities, especially now in a world where conflict, where division and polarization reign?
It's more important than ever before. People are losing hope everywhere, and if we lose hope, we fall into apathy and do nothing. If more and more and more people feel like that, then we're really doomed. And to have compassion, I think people have become so used to conflict and war. Sometimes I can't sleep at night thinking about what's going on in Sudan, Ukraine, Gaza. And if you see what's happening to me, if you think, I've always thought about individuals. So when I think if I was a mother and I had a little child, say 4 years old, and I had to watch that child having an amputation with no anesthetic because there isn't any left.
Technology always comes with the promise of progress, and in many cases it does, even in the fields of nature conservancy and environmental protections. Where do we set the limits? How do we learn to set better limits with technology, with innovation, so we can coexist in a way that's beneficial to the planet and not at its cost?
Well, it's something we have to do. I can't supply the answers, but I do know that if we carry on using technology the way we're sometimes using it today, it's going to be a very grim future. And go to AI, which is the big thing now.
Right.
Everybody's talking about AI. And of course, it can give amazing answers, but it's it eats up energy. It eats up energy and water, like search engines, like Google. They're all very, very demanding on the natural world. Fortunately, there are scientists who are working to try and resolve some of these problems and make technology that is less destructive to the environment. We just have to.
I think humans, especially now, we think that we can engineer our way to solve any problem and use a rational approach to solve any problem. I think when you were by yourself in the jungle back in the 1960s, you also had to engineer the solution to every problem, but it was not through technology necessarily.
No.
It was through your creativity, through your empathy, through very human qualities. For young people who have this incredibly powerful tool at their disposal, with all this knowledge, all this information, all the problem solving that it does provide, how can we teach them a different path to problem solving and growth that is more based on what you experienced?
Well, going around the world, I'm promoting our program for young people, Roots and Shoots, which is about young people of all ages choosing projects to make the world better for people, for animals, and for the environment. And because they get to choose, they will choose projects that are meaningful for them, that will be related to where they live or what they're thinking about, and they're rolling up their sleeves and taking action. And I think thinking of science and the way that so many people are now thinking only in terms of science, it's only when the clever intellect works with the human heart, love and compassion, then we can attain our true human potential. But if it's just the head, that can lead to a lot of cruelty.
You just told me you travel around 300 days a year, and you've been doing that for decades now,
Yes.
since the early 1980s.
Yeah.
Where do you find the passion, the energy, Dr. Goodall? We were walking over, there were a few steps, and it was raining, and I offered you my hand, and you're like, no, I'm fine. I can manage, even if I'm traveling around, even if it's raining, there's steps. Where do you find the passion and the energy?
Well, it's because of the passion that I get the energy. You know, I'm very passionate about the environment. I care really about wildlife. I care about domestic animals too, because they're individuals with personalities. They have feelings like fear and happiness and sadness. And I care passionately about children. I've got 3 grandchildren, no great-grandchild yet, but probably I will get one. But you know, everywhere I go, I see little children so full of the joy of life and smiling, and everybody around them is smiling because you can't help it. And then I think about their future. If we carry on the way we are, if we continue to think that we can have unlimited economic development on a planet with finite natural resources and growing populations of human and livestock, it's not going to work. We've got to make some kind of change, the way we develop.
You look around the world today and you see these immense challenges, climate change in all its expressions, pandemics, the perils of technology. You were talking about artificial intelligence. Are you still convinced that one person can make a difference? I mean, your story certainly proves that, but well, are you convinced?
It's not so much that. People come up to me and they're losing hope. And they say, well, you know, I look around the world and it's such a mess and I'm one person, what can I do? Well, most people, they can't do that much on their own, but there's millions of people thinking the same. And so if one person picks up a piece of trash, doesn't make much difference, even if they do it every day. But if 1 billion people pick up pieces of trash every day, you get a big difference. It's the cumulative advantage from many, many small steps you take to make this a better world. And of course, some people, they can write out big checks. And that makes a huge difference for, like, our Roots and Shoots program, because you can't grow it hugely without a certain amount of money, but have people to help spread the word. So, you know, it is in 76 countries. I want it in more.
Well, it's 11 states here in Mexico.
Here in Mexico, 37 groups.
37 groups, yes, and thousands
but now,
of young
now
people.
we've just been given some money, so we can develop it.
Finally, Dr. Goodall, for the first time in history, Mexico has a female president. You were talking about the inspiration you've provided through all these years of hard work to other girls, boys and girls, that see you working, but a reflection on the power of example. You were talking, if there's a way to have individuals spread the word and the work around, it becomes very powerful. So seeing their first female president, seeing Jane Goodall for young girls in Mexico, it's a powerful example.
It's powerful, and there you get a good example of technology, because through technology, what people say here can be heard around the world, just like boom, like that. So technology is a tool, but depends how we use it. But indeed, you know, I think everybody needs a hero. Everybody needs somebody that empowers them to carry on, inspires them. Mine was Tarzan.
And we're so glad you found him, because you've been an example and a hero to so many, to millions of people around the world. Thank you again for your time, and thank you for being here in Mexico.
Thank you.